except a few shops that were open and so on. And we decided to shut it down for the remainder of this week, and it will remain shut down. After they have shut down this place for 5 years plus, there was this so-called sit-at-home before I assumed office. A year plus before I came into office. We tried everything, and I will say a few things in this regard. So the purpose of this press conference is simply to, clarify a few issues as to what is at stake, why we did what we did, and why this must have to happen, and even be deepened in the days and weeks and months ahead. Because we are prepared, and because we see it as a big struggle for the soul of Anambra's future. This is a struggle for the soul of Anambra's future. The mandate of the people, like almost 80% of the people, have given us mandate to protect and promote their welfare and security. And that we must remain committed to doing 24/7 every day. Anambra is on the rise. We've secured Anambra. Security is firm. We had the best Christmas ever this last few weeks. People, it was as if there was mass return all over Anambra. All the markets were open, including on Mondays, even Sundays. And you won't believe it. Main market was open on Mondays throughout the Yuletide season. But then after the Christmas season over, we've got to lock it up again. Something is happening. It's no longer sit at home. Sit at home ended more than 2 years ago. What is now happening with these markets? Because on Mondays, everywhere in Anambra, especially in Onitsha, on Mondays, the streets are busted. The various stadiums that you have in the place, they are full with people exercising. Cars on the road, social meetings, neighborhood meetings, churches, and so on and so forth. Street trading everywhere. Everybody is bustling because the earlier sit-at-home was that people sat in their homes and never came out. This time around, it's no longer sit-at-home. It's now plain laziness because what you've done for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years becomes like culture. We've become used to it. And therefore, by reflex action, we have to be aware. And we are redefining a new calendar for Anambra and the Southeast, that you are open for business from Tuesday to Saturday or to Friday, as the case may be, while the rest of the world has a different kind of calendar. No. There's now some deliberateness about what is going on. Sabotage, criminal intent to keep Anambra and the Southeast behind. And we are determined to fight this with everything legal to make sure that we come to an end to this. Like I said, security restored, investors are pouring in. Christmas that we had like no other, where everybody traded every day, including Sundays. We cannot realize the potentials of Anambra without defeating this particular evil, because it keeps dragging us back. How did we get here? Before I became governor, that was sometime I think early 2021, they began this stuff sit at home, which was ordered by I don't know who, as a way of protesting the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu. But when I assumed office, we engaged all stakeholders, everybody in the discussions. And we had several releases by IPOB denouncing the sit at home itself, that they did not support it. Various groups were denouncing it, but I think this was being reinforced by a group I think led by Simon Èkpá or something, maiming and killing people, and so fear got into everywhere, and people decided then to obey, not because they loved to, but because they were coerced to. We tried everything over time to do something about it. We engaged. For us, upon assumption of office, I personally visited Nnamdi when I assumed office at his DSS custody. We discussed. He was not happy. This is what he told me. He was not happy about the sit-at-home thing, because it's like shooting yourself on the foot. It's like cutting your nose to spite your whatever, your face. And as we say, he who holds somebody down is holding himself there. The artisans, the school children that have to go to school, the artisans who make their daily living, these apprentices, who make their living on daily basis. You stop them from earning a living, and you think you are serving their interest. You want to turn Southeast into a desolate homeland, and yet you are fighting for them. Of course, he said that, and that was wrong. I confronted him with these questions, and he said, told me that that was wrong. Okay? So, now you come. These other criminals were enforcing this, maiming and killing people on Mondays. Okay, we engaged. We offered amnesty program for those who enforce it and those in the bush. We also established the 17-man committee through Justice and Peace Commission, chaired by Professor Denkalo, to identify the remote and the immediate causes of the agitations, restiveness, violence, and struggle in the Southeast since 1999. And they have already submitted their report, and we're already implementing aspects of it, including having setting up the Bureau of Missing Persons. We cannot, but then July 2023, recognizing that much of the sit-at-home rhetoric was fuel from outside Anambra, we decided to engage with those living in Abuja, living in Lagos, and the diaspora, that you are killing the homeland. If you love Igbo land, if you love the Southeast, or you are from the Southeast, and you are talking about sit at home, there must be a mental problem somewhere. Because you are killing the place. How will the children, innocent children, grow and be part of the next century if you keep them away from schools? That's the people you say you are fighting for? That's madness. The poor peasant farmers, and so on and so forth. The woman who was frying akara to feed her people, to feed her children in front of their house. Those who were enforcing it, those mad people, went and shot her dead in front of her house. How do you expect that these are the people you are fighting for? So we tried to engage. We did everything. We even have our 1U2 skills program. We told them, come out of the bushes, we'll help you earn a living. About 15,300 youths have so far benefited. We tried to make life easy for these poor people that they are harming by, having free education from primary through secondary school for these poor people who said peas and petty traders, vulcanizers, truck pushers, and so on, who have led to that nobody should charge them anything. We're struggling, free antenatal, free delivery for all pregnant women that have benefited over 180,000 women in the state, and so on and so forth. We are working for these poor people, trying to get them a life. But then some other people are elsewhere trying to inflict monumental pain on them every week. every week that you don't have, but I will come to that in a moment. And that's a point for you to note. You've got to ask yourself, why Anambra? Why Anambra? Why Onitsha in particular? Because as I drove out here on Monday, you know, here you are in Oka. You know, you go to Èkpá, you go to the markets, everybody's going about their business. You know, you drive down to or through Onitsha, everywhere is busy. Why do they target Onitsha and the Nnewi markets? This is something for everybody to think about. Why? You go around Onitsha, and majority of the people doing this are not from Anambra. Majority of the people doing this are not from Anambra. It's food for thought. And I will say that we came in first. We didn't want to come with any force or coercion. We had meetings, multiple meetings with leaderships of various markets. I was in one of them. I visited some of the markets, the main market particularly. I visited it. Asked them to open the main market. Because as you come everywhere else, I drove through Ochanja the same Monday. All the streets, street trading everywhere. So anybody talking about, oh, it's because of insecurity, it's madness. Because the same Onitsha, all the streets are filled with traders, trading on the streets. But then they lock up the shops at the main market. They lock up the shops at the major markets. It's no longer sit at home. Because sit at home meant you sat in your home. But now everybody is in the streets, but doing everything else but opening their shops. This must end. But I don't think it's because of maybe lazy habit, like I said. When an abomination has lasted for a year, people try to normalize the abnormality. Make it normal. Mondays you do something else. You know. No. The rest of the world cannot adjust to our own calendar. We must adjust to the calendar of the rest of the world if we want our people, the Southeast and Anambra State, to move forward. And I raised another puzzle. We've just discovered in main market, you have over 150 security persons working there. That's a subject for another day. So anybody who talks about, oh, it's because of security or insecurity, you have 150 security personnel there. Are they working to secure the market, or are they the saboteurs? We will come to that in the next few days. Like I said, the cost to Anambra State is enormous. People think of about revenue. I'm talking about the larger economy. The traders themselves. That each day that you don't go to market, you don't know how many businesses that you've lost. You don't know how many businesses are moving out of Onitsha to elsewhere. Because Monday is almost the most important day of the week. That's when suppliers, the people demanding for goods, that's when they must go and open up. So if you are not opening, people are opening, relocating elsewhere. That's what we mean by the cost to the state. The place will keep getting down and down economically. And like I said before, we're not going to train our children in the 21st century by going to school 4 days a week. Absolute nonsense. And this, of course, obviously, has stopped. We're going to open the schools, and we're going to take the same measures. If you are running a private school, if you are not open, I'll come and slam it and lock it up. Because we've given you the permission to operate there as a school. And in Anambra, the school days are Monday through Friday. If you are going to close it for any day, you've got to get a special permission. One says, it is their right. It is your right. fair enough. But I also have a right to even revoke the ownership of that place in public interest. If we start exercising rights, everybody starts exercising his right and powers, then that will get us to a road to nowhere. But all this nonsense must stop. The banks, I have a meeting with them now. Public service, petrol stations,